Welcome to the We Are Beautiful show, where your voices will be heard with your hosts, Irene Crow and Karen Thomas. We are broadcasting live at Bold Radio, so grab your choice of beverage and let's be heard. Now, here's Irene and Karen.
Well, welcome to We Are Beautiful. It's time to make your voices heard, a Bold radio station. I'm here wishing everybody a happy new year along with our host, Karen Thomas. Karen, happy new year. How's your new year so far?
We're 4 days in and everything seems to be going well. So happy new year to you and to all of our listeners, and welcome to this fantastic new show. We've got some great topics lined up for you and very excited to be part of this.
I know. How's your new year's been so far, hon?
It's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm really excited to have 2017 bring such wonderful things for everybody. And I think that with this show that you and I are going to be doing weekly, it's really going to be such a boost for not for only you and I, but for many people that are listening to really get in touch with their positive side and realize that, you know what? You are beautiful. We are beautiful. And 2017 is going to be a beautiful year.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, everybody. Let's celebrate and bring in your beautiful, and don't forget to sparkle along the way. I agree with you. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a glass of wine, and, we're with you for 30 minutes today, Karen and I, and we've got some great New Year's resolutions to discuss. And speaking of that, because everybody's right? I will be honest with you. I already broke my New Year's resolution within the first 24 hours. So
there you go. But that's okay. And that's okay. And see, this is what it's all about. The positivity message, Irene, which you and I both we strive every day to make sure that it's positive and it's good. I mean, it's okay, that you broke one of the resolutions or you didn't follow it exactly or what have you. It's okay. As long as you pick up where you left off, you dust yourself off and you bring yourself back to where you want to be or where you want to see yourself. It's okay. And you shouldn't beat yourself up about that.
Well, you know what? I do. And, because you know me and a lot of our listeners don't, I am hard on myself. And I'm finding that more and more people are really hard on themselves. We all want to try to strive to be perfect, but I'm not perfect. And I think that's what makes us all beautiful. I'm not perfect. But I wanted to make sure that everything was done so perfectly and nothing was. I cheated on a new lifestyle. I didn't work out. And it's like I wanted to promote good health for myself as well as my children, because
right.
I need them to, focus and I just threw it out the window. But yes, you're right. I shouldn't be real hard on myself. And
you shouldn't, because, we all do it. And I think, too, sometimes at the beginning, I think a lot of people need to hear this. At the beginning of a new year, we set ourselves up almost sometimes for failure. We look at the year behind us and we say, you know what? Well, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And I think it's a wonderful thing. It's a positive thing to set goals for yourself and to have, these things that you strive for. But the thing that we need to realize, and you stated it perfectly, Irene, we are not perfect. We are beautiful. However, we are not perfect. So when we do stumble and fall, let's use your example. You already, are trying to with the healthy lifestyle and it didn't come out that way. That's okay. Because you know what? You shouldn't beat yourself up for it. And I do this a lot too, especially when eating. That's one of my things is my eating habits. It's horrible. Those cupcakes are calling, Irene. I hear them right now. And it's hard, but you know what? We should dust ourselves off, and we should try to get back on track as soon as possible. And you know what? It's okay to ask for help. And I think that a lot of our listeners need to understand that it's okay to ask for help with something. You mentioned that, you know, you're going to have your girls and your family help you with your resolutions. And I think it's important for people to feel that, you know what? It's okay that I'm not perfect, but I am beautiful. But you know what? I stumbled a bit, and we're going to just take it from here, and I'm going to work on it harder tomorrow. And maybe if I ask for help from my girlfriend or a coworker or somebody, you know, and they can help me stay on track, doing it together really helps out a lot too.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you on that, Karen, because, my New Year's resolution, and I have no problem sharing that with a lot of people. I love, to drink, tell dirty jokes, have a cigar. But, I broke my resolution. I am a smoker. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the strength for that. I love my cigarette, and I love a great cup of coffee and a great piece of chocolate and a cupcake and a cookie. And,
right. And the list goes on.
And the list will go on. And
I'm right there with you. I've never met a cookie or cupcake that I didn't like. So I'm right there with you.
It's just like, everybody's like, oh, baby steps. And then it's like, I try to do everything extremely cold turkey, and I've been a smoker for a long, long time. So But
it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to admit that too, Irene. And that's I think a really important message that we want to get out there today to our listeners is that, it's okay to stumble and fall. We all do it. Nobody is perfect. But if you keep that in the back of your mind, and I think the message that we, both of us, are going to try to emit to our listeners from now on is that, we are beautiful. And it's okay that we are not perfect. But as long as you keep that in the back of your mind, that helps too, I think, sometimes with your self-control. But most importantly, Irene, with your self-confidence. And, if you can keep that mindset in the back of your head, I think you'll be okay. And, it's not to say that there's not going to be days where you wake up and you just are not feeling it, and you're beating up on yourself, and, or you have a bad day, and, you walk in and you just eat that whole thing of donuts or whatever your vice might be, or you smoke that cigarette. It's okay, because there's always tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you keep yourself in focus, in check, and call somebody. Give me a call and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, or this is what's going on, or text somebody, or send them a message, however you prefer to connect, and work with what you have. And I think that's where we will find some more positivity and a little bit of help with our self-confidence and keeping us on track.
I agree with you. You're absolutely right. And I'm sorry I didn't call you. I'm sorry, but and it's true. It's like, you need that buddy system, and you want to go to your close friends and your dear friends, and because they do understand. And, you don't want to go to someone who's going to browbeat you and bring you down. And you've got friends that do that too. So,
and that's important too. You need to look at your core group of colleagues, friends, girlfriends, family, spouse, whomever it is that you call on. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your cousin, could be an aunt, an uncle, whomever. And, what's important is that you have somebody that you can talk to. And, there's, I'm hoping that our listeners, out there will, interact with us as we go forward, and, share some of their stories with us about certain things, some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. Share with us, because we would love to have your input. And not only that, we would love to have, guests as we're going to be having guests as we get further into the year. But I think it would be fantastic to get a wonderful fan base out there of people, like-minded, who, like us, we are beautiful, but we are not perfect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we would love to have you on, call us. We're not taking any calls today, but starting next week, we'll give a shout out and look for our posts on Facebook under We Are Beautiful Magazine, Irene Pro, or Karen at Karen. Give us is it CT Etiquette?
Yes, CT Etiquette.
Okay.
And that's a tough one to spell. So that's CTETIQUE.
Or pronounce.
Right? Right? Spell it out. But you know what? This is important. And it is. We want to hear from you. We want to hear, what you're doing. What are the things that are concerning you? What are things that we could help you with? What are things that we can help you find other people that may be struggling with or doing the same things? Because again, the more that you band together with like-minded people, positivity is the key. And we are going to have a fabulous show. Even though we're 4 days in and we've already admitted that we've broken our resolutions, we're right there for one another, and we're going to be right there for you, for our listeners. And we're going to have a great time. We've got some unique stories and guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. And we're just going to have a wonderful time empowering women out there to realize that you are beautiful, we are beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And remember that, and I think, Karen, a lot of people don't look at themselves as beautiful, and they need to start looking at themselves as beautiful because they are beautiful.
And it doesn't just mean looks. I think that, Irene, that a lot of times that's what people think is, my hair is not this, or my face or that. Has nothing to do with any of that. You are beautiful because you are a creation of God, and you are beautiful, period, no matter what color hair, what size you are, or any of that. And I think that keeping that, again, in the back of your head, and some days it's hard, but keeping that in the back of your head, you are beautiful because you are you. And we are here to support that message and support you through this radio show and keep things on an even keel, and hopefully spreading some positivity and some boosting of self-confidence as we go along.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look, I look at people as living art, and they are beautiful. And to me, it's like their movement, their laughter, the way their hair flows. It's, the color of their hair. It's like, look, to me, it's the world. Everybody is beautiful. And that's what you have to keep in mind. And, I think that's something that I'd like to throw out there to our listeners on our very first show today, is that I'd like to throw this out there. You know what? Why don't you let us know, what makes you beautiful? Maybe you're not feeling it, but let us know. Let us get back to us and let us know what makes you feel beautiful, or how do you define beauty? And again, not just, it's only skin deep, they say. And that is so true, because there's so many other defining areas that encompass that. And I think it's important for everybody out there to know that you are beautiful with all of the things that you do, no matter what job you're in, no matter where you live, all of these things. And it's important. And you know what? Maybe this forum that we do in this radio show will be able to help you or other people, which I know is our goal, to help them just realize that you are beautiful, and you are, we're right here for you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tell us your story, tell us, even if you need to vent and you need someone to just scream at and to listen, we're here. Tell us.
Exactly. And you know what? Again, 9 times out of 10, I find when I'm speaking with somebody, maybe a new colleague or something, and you're always cautious. You hold your cards close to the vest. And, you don't want to tell them your life story. You don't want to be, I had this and that, and this happened to me. But sometimes when you open up just a bit and you start to say, hey, this, maybe this happened to me or something like that, you find, and I found this so many times in different forums and different women's groups that I belong to, somebody raises their hand and says, oh my goodness, me too. And once somebody has said that, or they listen to you, you feel a little bit better about it. I know I do. How about you, Irene?
Oh my God, I do. And, sometimes it's like you can read it on the person's face.
Yes.
And you know that they're struggling and they just can't find the words. And then all of a sudden they tear up and they leave the room and you have no idea. But, a lot of women out there don't have someone to talk to, or they have that one so-called friend, or they don't need to know my problem, and it's not a problem. And that's the thing. It's not a problem.
Right.
To
Right.
reach out and touch someone and let them know you're not alone.
You're not alone, and you are beautiful. And I know I keep saying that over and over, but that's something that I've learned from you over the last, couple of years here with our friendship. And you're laughing, but I have to say, you really have opened my eyes to a person that you are, Irene, that is a constant support for me, no matter whether it's on phone, in person, or what have you. And it's great to have somebody like that. And I'm really, really excited for this show. I'm really excited to open up to the people. And I think that we've got just a few minutes left, but we've got a really great venue going ahead. Again, yes. We are beautiful. And this is going to be the show that's going to help empower women out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies, look for our posts, send us feedback. We're on social media. Look for our Twitter, look for our Instagram, and our chat. Jump in. We're here. We're here to support and help you. And yes, you are beautiful. We're all unique. We are beautiful. And thank you, Karen. Look, I've learned a lot from you this past few years. I call you up out of the clear blue, even though it's like 3:00 in the morning, because I think I'm the only one that's up and running. And you're right there for me. And you have it's like, well, you always have an answer for me. And it's like, okay, because I do.
Even though it's a smart answer? No.
Yes, it is always a smart answer. And you always have me look at, at all different angles and to look out of the box. And yes, we are visionary. And yes, a lot of the women today, we multitask. We have to multitask to get through some days. And it's hard, and people struggle with that. I know I still do. But it's not to say, Irene, I think that it's important that we put this out there. It's not to say that you should be treated poorly. You know what I mean? You should be taken for granted or any of those things. It's not to say that. It's not to say, yes, be a doormat for people. But what it's saying is that, what, you need to be confident and self-confident in yourself. And, keeping in the back of your head, sometimes just a little mantra of, we are beautiful, is maybe sometimes all you need when you're in a difficult situation. If you stop and take a breath and take a deep breath, and think about what's happening to you, and then remember in the back of your head, you know what, I am beautiful and I can get through this. Sometimes that's all you need. Now, that's not to minimalize anybody's, true major, issues, but I'm just saying sometimes if you just step back and take a look, and it puts things in perspective. And then again, like I said, you have outlets like this radio show and other outlets, your friends, colleagues and things like that, where it is there for you. And I know a lot of times it's hard for people to reach out. People feel that they don't want to be a bother. They don't want to impose, or, that's not what it's all about. It's about being there for one another and realizing how your beauty affects the world. And if we can help with that, I think, we are ready. We are ready and willing and able. Oh, absolutely. 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 Hear. Totally agree. Yeah.
So with that, Irene, I want you to remember our conversation in that, it's okay. So you went and you messed up on the resolution, but it's okay. There's always tomorrow. And now if I find out tomorrow when I speak with you that you're eating that 7th donut, I will have to drive over there and slap it out of your hand. But you remember that we had this conversation.
Right.
But it's okay. Like I said, we're all human.
Yes, I'll have donuts and wine, so we could just dip, the donut in the wine.
That's perfect. Now you're talking. Okay. As long as for those of you who have to have a chuckle, I love my wine, all kinds of wine, especially red, because red is good. See, this is how I justify, and this is how my outlook is. Wine is good. Now, this is not to say that I drink it incessantly, but I drink a small glass every night before bed. And I do that for a health reason. It does have resveratrol in it, and it has health, things that can help with your circulation and all of that. And I tell you, that's how I look at it. Okay. A small little orange juice glass. And that's something that my grandmother did every single night. And right before bed, she'd have a small little glass. And I indulge in that every single night. So, when I get to the doctors and they ask on there, now the forms on there say, they say, how many glasses or how many drinks a week do you have? And then I'm writing in 7 thing. But I explain it. Wait a minute. It's this much. It's like maybe a half an ounce worth, because they must look at me and think, oh my goodness. But no, wine is a health thing for me. But do you see how I spun that? And again, it's not even a spin, but it actually is good. So it is good for you. I have my little glass of wine, and I keep that in the back of my head saying I am being healthy by doing this. Now, I am not promoting drinking, but I am just saying that using that as one of the, ways to keep myself and my circulation and all of those things, keeping me healthy. So how about you?
Well, look, I live by a true black pot of coffee. So that is like my holy grail.
That's your wine.
Well, that's my wine. But truth be told, I am a Dirty Girl Martini. And if you don't know what that is, it's like it has more olives. But it's like, fuel for me. That is my Friday special.
Right.
My Dirty Martini. I'll have a glass of wine maybe 3 times during the week. And it's usually with a meal, or it's, meeting or talking with you or the girls. Just
so what are you saying, Irene? I make you drink? No.
No. Let me tell you, I am
I had to throw that in.
I know. No, I'm a true I love my martinis, and, I love my Dirty Girl Martini. It's great. I
Then cheers to you. And that's how I look at it. I celebrate that. I celebrate those things in saying that, it's okay. It's not something that is totally bad for you at all times. And there are certain times when it's appropriate and when it's not. And, Friday nights when you have yours, I'm going to think of you in 2 days from now on Friday on the 6th. And I'm going to say, I know what she's doing right now. And you know what? I am going to raise my glass.
Right. It's my 3:00 special on Fridays.
Right. So all right. So then at 3:00 on the 6th, I'm going to think of you, and I'm going to realize that you're drinking yours. And you know what I'm going to do this Friday on January 6th? I am going to grab a glass of my red wine and join you, even though it'll be virtually because we're not in the same state. I think it'll be good. And I think that's what we'll do is maybe that'll be my Friday 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I like that.
One another. I'll go on our Facebook page and let's cheers each other.
I like that. And you know what? That is something that we could do together. And again, that showcases also, that doesn't have to be anything that you have to be in person to do or, on the phone or anything like that. With social media nowadays being so prevalent in society, it's just wonderful to have these different venues and ways that we can connect. And so, you know what? That's what we're going to do from here for our first show. We are going to celebrate on Friday, our first show at 3 p.m. You're going to celebrate with your Dirty Martini, and I'm going to celebrate with my glass of red wine, and we're going to celebrate our first deal here. I like that.
Absolutely. Cheers.
And you know what? I invite you and all of the listeners out there, to do the same with us. Raise a glass of seltzer, raise a glass of
water,
orange juice, whatever your thing is. And it could even be water. Okay. But raise it. And you know what? And celebrate yourself. Celebrate you being beautiful and keeping that message in the back of your head and keeping things on track for the best 2017 that you could possibly have.
Hear, hear. Cheers. Ditto.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's basically what we are all about here is not drinking, which some people listening in might be saying, oh my goodness. But no, it's not about that at all. It's about, having people who are on your side, having people who are able to connect with, having people who are positive, who are there and self-confident, who can help you. And I think that this is what
the new year. Yeah. It's celebrating your beautiful.
Yes, that your beauty. Yes. Absolutely.
And I throw that out. You are beautiful. And, how many times have I've done an interview and asked somebody, well, tell me what makes you beautiful? And some people are like, from their facial expression, from the no sound, they never look at themselves as beautiful. So
that's sad. That is very sad. And I struggle with that myself. And again, we all look at each other. We all look at ourselves differently. I grew up in a family where, I was told I was fat all the time. I still have that stigma that I carry with me that, if I gain a little weight or this or that or something doesn't fit right. And I have that with me, and it's horrible to have those things in the back of your head. But over the last 6-7 years, I have worked hard and tirelessly to not maybe necessarily be the most health conscious, but to be the best that I know that Karen can be. And that's important. It may not be that I'm the size 2 or this and none of that. It's about me and me feeling good about myself. And that's what we want for our listeners, isn't it, Irene?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's important.
It's very important. It's very important. And regardless of your race, religion, your gender, you are beautiful.
Right. Now, you know what? As we've got the last few minutes rolling along here, Irene, why don't you give our listening audience out there just a little bit of background of what you're in and where you're from, and I'll give them a little bit about myself, and we could tell them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to let you end it. Well, that's because me, I'm the big blabbermouth here, but I am, because I want our listeners to get I want our listeners to get a kick out of this. I am an etiquette educator, and people are probably scratching their heads right now going, well, what is an etiquette educator? I have the most fabulous time, teaching etiquette and manners, protocol, and decorum. And you say, well, why is that? Well, what is that? I teach at colleges. I am at colleges across Connecticut and Massachusetts. I work with corporations and I work with individuals. I also work with children and teens, but I love what I do. And that's why I feel that I am beautiful, because I am spreading the positivity and the civility message through my work. And that's what makes me beautiful. So now I said what I do and what I feel makes me beautiful. You hit it, Irene, for our listeners.
Well, I'm the CEO, founder, and creative director of We Are Beautiful magazine, and We Are Beautiful Teens magazine, and we have a few other magazines all dealing with beautiful. And basically, it's voices from all over the world talking about their story, telling people about their life stories of being beautiful, and letting their voices be heard, seen, and read. And it doesn't matter. We have stories about people with cancer and dealing with their scars. And yes, they're finally stepping into their beautiful and realizing that their scars and everything that they've been doing makes them beautiful and who they are. And that's the whole purpose of this magazine, is showing you're beautiful. And not everybody has a beautiful story in here. But they are beautiful. They're beautiful. They're being seen. Their voices are being heard. And most importantly, their stories are being read. So if you'd like to be a part of this publication, send it to support@wearebeautifulmagazine.com. Again, that's at support@wearebeautifulmagazine.com. Send us your story. We'll add you in our publication.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. And I love how you said, in our final minute here on the show, this is what makes people beautiful, is believing it, no matter what your story, like you said, with cancer or with what you're battling or what your successes are, what your failures are, all of that. All of these things make up what makes you beautiful. So as we close off and sign off today, on this beautiful January 4th day, Wednesday, we want to make sure... Yes, you have a happy new year. We hope to have
beautifully.
I know it did this go so fast. We want to have everyone to have a happy new year, and we want to make sure that we are here for you, because you know why? Let's say it together. We are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year's, everybody, and ring it in beautifully and spread your sparkle everywhere. And Karen, I just want to tell you, you are beautiful.
And Irene, you are beautiful too.
Bye until next week, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at Bold Radio Station. And you can always look us up at www.boldradiostation.com. We are beautiful. It's time to make your voices heard.
Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to stop on by next week for more beautiful voices on Bold Radio.